Hello, everybody, and welcome to Voorhees Tigers basketball right here on the Voorhees University Athletics YouTube page and also the Voorhees University Facebook Live. I'm Clarence Jones. Thank you so very much for tuning in. As this is a game that was supposed to be played back on Friday, but because of traveling issues for Fisher College, they had to switch it, and that's why today, this afternoon, is the game. And of course, it's not was not scheduled on your program, but they had to change it. Yesterday, Fisher College came into South Carolina and defeated Morris College, and now they continue with their South Carolina swing in conference against a Voorhees Tigers team that came off a victory a few days ago against Morris College. So now they're looking for their second straight victory and a third conference victory overall. Meanwhile, for Fisher, they come in with a record of 9-11 overall, 3-4 in conference play, and they have played more conference games than Voorhees. And of course, for Voorhees, this is a big week for them as far as conference plays are concerned because of today against Fisher, and then later on this week when they go into what you call the in-season tournament bubble of the CAC conference, when they will take on the Florida schools, Florida College and also Florida National. So this is a big week for the Tigers to make up some ground here in conference play. Also, for Voorhees, they will not be without Jordan Blue for the second game in a row. But Voorhees still a very talented squad. They go 10 deep, but they'll need the play of Hector Rosario and also Julius Phillips, who both coming off some monster games over that victory against Morris College. Meanwhile, for the Fisher Falcons, Falcons have not one, not two, not three, but five players averaging in double figures, and they can put up some points, averaging just over 80 points per game. So this is a great contest here for the Voorhees defense. So sit back and relax as we'll have the first half coming up against the Tigers and the Falcons. So right now, we'll turn things over to our PA announcer for the starting lineups, and then we'll be back for the tip-off of the first half. You're watching Tiger basketball. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Direct your attention to the second end of the arena as we honor America. Please rise for the playing of our national anthem. The president of Voorhees University is Dr. Ronnie Hopkins, and the athletic director is Ms. Charlene Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, you're reminded that federal regulations for smoking in this building and our COVID-19 protocol mask wearing is encouraged. Our officials for today's game are sanctioned by the NAIA. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Leonard E. Dawson Health and Human Resources Center. This is the Jerry M. Street Arena, and today, the Voorhees University Tigers take on the Falcons of Fisher College from Boston, Massachusetts. And now, introducing the starting lineup. First of all, visitors from Fisher College. Wearing number 1, Keandre Pinson. Wearing number 3, Kyle Butler Gaffney. Wearing number 10, Christian Finney. Wearing number 11, Ross Vandy. And wearing number 21, Dakota Gillespie. The Falcons are coached by Anthony Minelli and are assisted by Eric Wheeler, Aaron Mello, CJ Carter, and Brett Stensby. And now, your Voorhees University Tigers. At point guard, from Lawrenceville, Georgia, wearing number 2, Hector Rosario. At the other guard, from Powder Springs, Georgia, wearing number 13, Tyler Whittley. At center, from Netherlands, Georgia, wearing number 34, Omari Joseph. At point guard, from Dallas, Georgia, wearing number 4, Christian Ford. And at the other guard, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wearing number 1, Julius Phillips. The Tigers are coached by Cabral Hall and assisted by James Williams and Zorik Bradford.
All right, as we get ready for the tip-off here. Joining me here is guest analyst here, the women's head coach for Voorhees, Coach Edward Glover. And Coach, welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Hey, CJ, appreciate to be here.
All right, as we tip it off, Voorhees will have it. As this is a very important game for Voorhees, important week as they go into the conference jamboree now.
Yeah, these next 3 games are critical. They are conference games. With this game here today, and the next 2 games on the road in Florida at the end of the week.
And these are some of the more top teams in the conference that Voorhees will be facing in the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah, and this is a good opportunity to move up in the standings. You know, it's on a rating system, so we don't see everybody.
Right.
So the committee looks at your performance against good teams.
Yep. As that shot is off there by Pensil. Pensil is the leading scorer for the Falcons, averaging over 16 points per game. As I mentioned, the Falcons have 5 players averaging in double figures. As out of the corner for 3 is no good by Willoughby. As we just played over a minute here in the contest, no score so far as the ball knocked out of the hands of Gaffney.
And the Falcons have a small lineup. That's their identify a big person out there.
Yeah, look like Amari Joseph is the biggest person out there on the court.
Fisher look like they're running more of a perimeter style offense.
Here's a shot for 3. It's up and no good by Gillespie. We played a minute and a half into this first half. Still no score. Here's Rosario with the basketball. He gives it off to Phillips. Phillips had a good game against Morris in that win the other night. Rosario as well as he turns around shot. That hit off the front rim. The rebound goes to Finney. Finney, one of the leading rebounders of this Falcon squad. Second opportunity.
We got to protect that ball. We got to get those rebounds. We'll give them second chance opportunities.
Rebound this time goes to Rosario. Rosario could have had Willoughby. Instead, puts it up, no good. Here comes Brandy. Oh, nice.
Good move to the basket there.
As cross Bandy. Bandy is another scorer who's averaging in double figures for the Falcons this season. There's a Joseph off the glass.
Good feed down low. It looks like we're missing some personnel from our team.
Well, right now, Jordan Blue's still not playing. He's missing yet another game. But still, this is a team that could go 10 deep, really.
Oh, yeah. We have enough on that bench.
And shot put up, no good. Ball knocked around. Opportunity for the Falcons. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound there by Ford. Up the court it goes. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby to the basket. No good. Rebound, put it back. And it's finally good there by Willoughby.
Good follow-up on that shot.
So Tyler Willoughby, the leading scorer for the Tigers here this season. And the Tigers with a 4-2 lead and a steal. Ball goes out of bounds. Still will be Voorhees basketball.
And right there, that was some good help side by Joseph coming over to give that a good help side assist. Force that turnover.
And it looked like size advantages, just looking at it, that Voorhees have just a slightly better advantage here.
Yeah, and we're probably going to need to establish ourselves down low. The buckets we got have coming in inside the paint.
As Ford draws the foul. 4-2 is our score. Tigers on top of the Falcons. As Pencil picks up his first foul, and team's first. So Christian Ford will be at the line, the sophomore from Dallas, Georgia.
And a note, CJ, this is a back-to-back game for Fisher.
Right. Yesterday they defeated Morris.
Got a 10-point win.
Right. Ford then unable to hit the second. So what does that do to a team? Because I know playing back-to-back, especially in college, is not normal unless you're in a tournament-style play. Then you're in that mindset, but not during the regular season.
It's normal for small college basketball, to be honest with you. A lot of times when you're small college, when you travel, you have to get those type games to get games in. And you can see that Morris College is a scheduling partner for us. And a lot of times when we get teams that come down, especially from great distance, they may play them or play us, as well as some other NAIA schools right there in Columbia with Columbia International, and on the women's side, Columbia College.
It's 5-2 our score for those of you just joining us. Also, I'd like to welcome everybody that's commenting in our comment section, or either on YouTube and at Facebook Live. Thank you so very much. As Joseph comes away with the rebound. Here's Willoughby to the basket. Can't hit.
Got to have those.
Back comes Fisher. Down the lane, and that
Fisher looks like they want to run the ball, like they want to push up the court with a small lineup.
Yeah, Bandy, he's one of those quick guards there for the Falcons, as Fisher called the timeout. But yeah, Bandy is one of those quick guards. Also, Pencil, he's also a quick guard. So yeah, they line up, even though small, but they like to get up and down the court there a little bit.
And getting back to the schedule, our guys will play back-to-back on next weekend, Friday and Saturday in conference play.
Right.
And then hit the road that Sunday to head down to Fort Lauderdale for another non-division game.
Yeah. Gets the Fort Lauderdale College. So yeah, they have a bit of some games coming up this week, but very important games for the Tigers, and to make up for it as far as conference-wise, because Fisher, this is their 8th conference game, and this is only Voorhees' 3rd conference game, because you already played Morris twice already. So this is now the first conference foe outside of Morris.
And that's part of the Continental Athletic Conference being more of an independent type conference. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of schedule those games yourselves, unless the conference is putting on a conference pod, as they call it, the one we're going to. Both teams are headed to later on this week.
Right. Down there in Florida.
Yeah, and I hope the weather's a whole lot better today.
Right. It's been raining all day.
And it's cold for us here
it's
in South
cold.
Carolina.
Right.
It's not for you New Yorkers.
Well, for those New Yorkers that's been
one.
down here for about 20
Finish.
years.
Need it. Got it.
As that is the basket good. As Ford puts it in. Well, you know, if you've been down here for a minute, you know, the cold does something to you. You know?
Well, you've made some adjustments.
Yes, I had to make some adjustments. As Ford goes to the line to try to complete the three-point play, ain't no good. 7-4 is our score. Voorhees on top. Under 15 minutes to go here in the first half. We say good afternoon to all of you watching us on YouTube and also Facebook Live. Thank you so very much for joining us here. Tiger Nation, as always, represent. As a block there by Amari Joseph. Good block there. Here's Ford up the court. Ford is good. So Ford, and it's out to a 9-4 Voorhees lead. That shot no good. Here comes Voorhees. Christian Ford. Give it up to Phillips. Ford out of the corner. Can't hit. Pencil along with the rebound. Up the court it goes. They'll slow it up. Bandy gets out. Pencil. Bandy drawing the foul. Oh, now they'll say Fisher. They'll call it on cross Bandy. That's his first and team's third. As Wyndham checks in for the first time. And Malachi checks in for the first time this afternoon. Jad Rita comes in for the Falcons.
Oh, good post entry.
Ford, step back. No good.
Finish.
We have a jump ball. And the possession will go to Fisher. With 13 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the first half. A big hello to Casey Johnson, Jeremiah West, and also April Brown tuning in. And everybody else as well that's tuning in. Thank you so very much. Ball, loose ball. And it's finally controlled by the Tigers. Here comes Rosario to Wyndham. Wyndham gets position and scores. So Wyndham with the 2 points, his first 2 points, and it's 11-4. So, oh, they call it technical on Wyndham.
Yeah, looked like it was a previous warning.
Well, Wyndham just got on the court. He just got on the court.
The official said something about a previous. It was a warning. I thought it was against Fisher's bench, but it looked like apparently it was against Voorhees. We don't need to give them points.
Right. Especially you have the momentum right now, up 11 now, 11-5.
Now look like we're extending our pressure defense here.
So here's Fisher with the basketball.
Oh, turnover.
And a turnover. Right into the hands of Phillips. Back over to Ford. Oh, Malachi. Mismatch.
Good spin.
Mismatch.
Finish.
Oh, and it's blocked, but we'll call it a jump ball. But man, at first Malachi had a big mismatch there.
We got to continue to take advantage of that. You know, we have the size.
Right. Here's Ford. Gives it into Phillips. Phillips with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Turnaround shot in the lane. No good. Ball knocked around. Controlled by Fisher. Out of the pack comes Gaffney. Gaffney with the floater. No good. Ford comes away with it. So here's Rosario.
He was looking for the shot before he caught the pass.
So now calls it to a turnover. So substitutions coming in. Isaiah Sellers comes in. Giovanni Ball, number 2 for Fisher, comes in. 11-5 is our score as we're coming up on the 12-minute mark remaining in the first half. Double team and a steal.
Good job on the defensive end.
Another turnover.
Capitalize.
Here is Rosario as he draws the foul.
Need these free throws out of this.
Cross Bandy picks up his second and team's fourth. So Hector Rosario will be at the line shooting 2. That first shot is no good. Hector, a pretty good free throw percentage shooter.
There we go.
There's 1 out of 2. 12-5 is our score now. Tigers on top of the Falcons for Fisher. And the ball out of bounds. And they will say no signal. I ain't see did not see any
Think
signal.
it's our ball. Yeah, good
Yep.
trap. Good trap off the inbound.
So they'll give the ball to Voorhees. So quick substitution as Kyle Butler Gaffney checks back in for the Falcons. And here's
that's supposed to be a 30-second shot clock change.
Instead, it's 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
I'm gonna have to ask an official about that one.
Wyndham for 3, no good. And 4 steps out of bounds. Fisher gets the ball. So
Fisher brought the ball in. Turned the ball over. Thinking that's supposed to go back 30. It was a change of possession. It wasn't like Fisher we got the rebound and got the ball back. Goes between
right.
Change of possession.
So
I have to follow up on that one. Because the recent changes over the years with the shot clock. One time it went back to 30 and they wanted to speed the game up and they changed the time on it. And I remember way back the men were 35 seconds.
Right.
Well, actually 45, you go way back when they first brought the thing in. That was
before the 3-point line, huh?
Well, when Dean Smith retired, they changed up a lot. They made a living off the 4 corners.
Shot put up, no good. The shot attempt there by Finney. As the foul will be on Sellers. And Sellers will pick up his first personal. So at the line shooting and missing the first of 2. Missing both shots is Christian Finney. So Finney 0 for 2 at the line. Still 12-5. Voorhees on top as we under the 11.5-minute mark. Shot put up. Tip is good. And I think they'll give that to Wyndham. So Wyndham will get his second field goal. It's 14-5. Voorhees on top. Body down low for Finney. Pass up top.
Should be a 3 seconds in the lane. Should be a 3 seconds. Thought so.
Yeah, call 3 seconds. So turnover.
Number 10 got in a little pushing battle down
there. Yeah, Finney. It's going to be a little battle down there, but it's a battle that Voorhees definitely have the length down low.
And the numbers.
Oh, yeah. 10:45 remaining in the first half. 14-5 is our score. It's a kick ball, and it'll go to Finney. Fisher. Falcons with the basketball, down 14-5. Redder thought about a three. Oh, spin move in the lane, puts it up, and traveling violation called against Jad Redder. So 10 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first half. It's still 14-5. Voorhees. Malachi. Pull-up shot. Rims in and out.
Good look, though.
Good look at the basket. Shot for three. Bank shot in.
The glass was kind. Glass was kind to him on that one. You know, back in the day, you had to call that.
Yeah. I guess the bank is open on Sundays, huh? So Butler Gaffney with his first three-pointer, and it's 14-8. Kind of a low-scoring game here in this first half. Fisher averaging just over 80 points per game. Oh, and that one is blocked. Good defense there. Looked like that was a bar that came in with the block. The other way, three-pointer, no good.
With us running pace and the way they shoot the three, or the number of times they shoot the three, I can see why they're scoring 80 points a game. We're going to get them on the defensive end. Voorhees plays a pretty good defensive brand of basketball.
Coming up on 9 minutes to go. 14-8 is our score. Way off there.
We got Fisher off balance right now. We got to take advantage of this.
And let's see if they can take advantage as Fleeshon gets into the corner.
Two-man game here, three-man game. Good move.
Back in, down low. Bank shot is good. There for Sellers. So Sellers, his first 2 points.
I think the long trip is catching up with Fisher right now.
Yeah.
You know, they drove down on the bus from Boston.
And that's a long trip. So
had a layover with some mechanical issues with the bus. Had to get another bus. Finally got into Sumter for that game with Mars yesterday. The coach was telling me before the game, you know, they had a little bus lag.
Traveling violation.
Finally got themselves, because it was a close game, but they finally was able to pull away from Mars from yesterday. So he was hoping that they really had their legs back.
Right. Well, even with the early start yesterday, still they have to have some kind of a rest over, you know, to try to get their legs right for today's game. But you can see it so far in the first half. Fisher, not enough lift, and there goes the turnover. Back comes Voorhees. Here comes Wilson.
Good move. Good move.
Bryce Wilson
and Fisher
with
has
the two.
A player down on the other end.
And limping back up the court for Fisher is Butler Gaffney. And he'll have to sub out. Cross Bandy checks back in for the Falcons. Charles Thomas, number 30, checks in. Now, Charles Thomas, number 30, who checks in, is supposed to be one of the tallest players on Fisher's squad, standing at 6'5".
And he just got away with a moving screen.
Three-pointer shot on the way is no good. And Joseph, along with the rebound. Wilson, give it off to Fleeshon. Can't hit. Look like last touch by Joseph. So 7 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Is 18-8 is our score. Tigers on top of the Falcons. As they have a foul on Keyshawn Fleeshon. That's his first. And team second. But not too many fouls called here in this game so far.
Yeah, they're letting them play to a certain extent. There's been some stoppage.
Just like the refs let y'all play last night, huh?
A little too much last night.
Traveling violation is called.
But I can't make any comment about that.
Yeah.
You ain't Coach Huff, kid.
I can. I'll say this. Yeah, they was letting them play a little bit there. It almost remind me of the Rucker basketball tournament up there in New York. Letting them play. They 3 bodies fall down, don't call. Who got the ball?
And the reason why they call that cage matches. Wrestling stole that term from basketball.
Willoughby, unable to hit.
Finish.
Gets it back out. 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Chance to extend this lead. This is
It's Wilson.
Possession right here.
Wilson loses the ball and we'll have a whistle. So they called a foul.
On the floor.
Bandy picks up his 3rd. So Bandy, one of the leading scorers on this Falcons team, in foul trouble with 3 fouls. Now I thought it was only 2 fouls, but apparently he has 3 fouls.
In the first 13 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes to go.
It will be a traveling violation. Julius Phillips checks back in. Felician will check out for Voorhees. Voorhees up by 10, 18-8. Good afternoon, Demetrius Relaford. Thank you for joining us. Oh, nice pass. Wide open, and the basket's good there for Thomas. So Charles Thomas, his first field goal off the great pass.
And he couldn't miss him with those bright color shoes on.
Nah, not at all. Along the baseline, here's Willoughby, pull-up shot. No good. Gets his own rebound now. Phillips has the ball. Under 6.5 to go. Inside it goes. That pass was knocked away by Thomas. Here comes Pencil. Oh, nice block for Rosario. So the
It's amazing how the sneaker game has changed over the years.
How you figure?
Well, at one point, everybody would have the same style of shoes.
Oh, right, right. I see pink and red and yeah.
And you usually didn't see those colors on the men's side.
No.
There's even what blue is that? Turquoise blue?
Turquoise or light blue? Sky blue?
There.
Sky blue, and you also got a peach.
On both sidelines.
Yeah.
But look, see, we got a young person up here looking back at us.
Yeah, Kaya, our statistician.
That was unheard of. Same everything back in the day.
Right.
Shoes, socks, tights, everything.
Not today. Today
the NBA has changed that.
In particular, I would say Allen Iverson.
I don't know.
Because during that time, remember, NBA had a sneaker deal with just Nike. So when Allen Iverson came into the league, he had a deal with Reebok.
He had a deal with Reebok, but Jordan was Jordan brand.
You're right.
Now there was a few guys who were Adidas. Patrick Ewing was Adidas. And a couple other guys. Kobe started out Adidas and went over to Nike. Right. Tracy McGrady was Adidas. But he even still had a few guys, just a few. Converse was still hanging on back then.
Converse was more 80s with Magic and Bird.
But it was still hang on in a couple of guys, not the big time ballers. A couple of guys.
Anton Walker.
Yeah, a couple of guys still had that Converse.
Yeah.
And Kyle is looking back, but Converse was the sneaker, the 70s and 80s.
Right.
Matter of fact, the Converse commercial, and people, you can go out there and YouTube it, Google it. That commercial had more Hall of Famers than, I don't know if they could duplicate that commercial. Converse weapon?
Oh, right. Was that the rhyming commercial?
Yeah.
Okay. It had Isaiah Thomas and Hakeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird, everybody. Kevin McHale.
I can sing the lyrics word for word, but I'm not going to do it.
We got a game. As a traveling violation is called against Julius Phillips. So a couple of traveling violations been called on either squad. Yeah. But to finish up the sticker conversation, it's funny. As I'm looking on the court, you probably have about 4 or 5 different shoe companies being represented on the court this afternoon.
Yeah. I'm old school. I am really. Next season, I'm really thinking hard of going back to one shoe.
Out of the corner for 3 is good there for Thomas.
There.
So Charles Thomas' second field goal, 5 points on the afternoon, is 19-13. Voorhees on top. But Fisher slowly stepping back into this game as Phillips unable to hit.
That's a big shot coming from the post player as well.
Right. In the lane. Shot put up. It's good. And 1. Andrew Ditterman. Bryce picks up the first foul. Team's 4th. And shooting the N1. So Dinterman, the freshman, 6-foot guard. And he's a South Carolina native out of Summerlin. Heard of that town, Summerlin? As that shot no good. Back the other way. Thomas again for 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Charles Thomas. And it's a 1-point Voorhees lead at 19-18. Coming up on 4.5 minutes to play in the first half.
And going back to Andrew Ditterman, Summerlin, South Carolina, transfer from Erskine College.
Yeah.
I know where Erskine is, but Summerlin.
As that basket is good by Rita.
I thought I knew every town in South Carolina. Much recruiting I've done over the state over the years.
And you, it's just small town after small town, right?
It's communities. I call them nooks and crannies.
Illegal screen called against Fisher. And a foul will be on Rita. Rita picks up his first. Team 7th.
When I Google Summerlin, South Carolina, I get Summerville. But there is a Summerlin, Georgia. Now, I have heard of that.
Well, here on the roster, it says Summerlin, South Carolina. Where's Summerlin, Georgia? No, and don't tell me it's in the suburb of Atlanta. Okay, thank you. Oh, and we have a foul against Amari Joseph away from the ball.
Yeah, when you're putting Summerlin, Georgia, Noonan comes up, Austell, those areas. But you're putting Summerlin, South Carolina, it goes straight to Summerville.
Okay.
So maybe that's a typo. I'll do a little research on that.
Right. It's Rosario with the steal and the 2.
We needed that turn.
Hector Rosario now with 5 points on the afternoon. The 5-point lead at 25-20, and the steal by Julius Phillips. Up the court it goes. Too far for Wyndham.
And with Fisher playing fast, they're going to have turnovers. We just don't need to match their turnovers.
Yeah.
We need to win that battle. Capitalize on what they give us.
3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. 25-20 is our score. Voorhees on top. Fisher had a small run to cut it down to 1 as there's a steal and the inbounds pass. And we'll have a whistle. Bandy picks up the foul. And that's his 4th. So, Coach Cross Bandy, one of the leading scorers for this Falcons squad, will have to sit out for a long while, picking up his 4th foul, and with 3:18 remaining in the first half. He's going to be buried in that bench for a while.
Yeah. Their coach must really have some confidence in him playing with 3 fouls.
Yeah. As Ford misses the front end.
And he actually has too many guys over there on that sideline to even be in that situation. Somebody should have, if it's a mistake, somebody should have alerted him of that.
Bandy,
but we could have confidence of that young man playing with 3. Some players can do that.
Bandy, as I mentioned, he's the second leader scorer. That's a offensive foul
He tipped that
against.
shoulder and the arm.
Yep. So Wyndham will pick up his
That's an automatic call.
second foul. But just another thing on Cross Bandy. Bandy is the second leading scorer for the Falcons, averaging just over 15 points per game. So some of that point production will be missed on the bench for Fisher.
Got a reach in there.
A reach in foul. See who they'll call it on.
When you have caught in a situation like that, hands up, you got the clock. That shot clock is your field. The 10-second call. Anytime you put your hands down there, the referees 9 times 10 get that reaching call.
Wyndham picks up the foul. That is his second foul. So as we come down to the other end, shooting one of the bonus is Giovanni Barr, the sophomore. Field goal percentage, free throw percentage so far this season. Hasn't attempted too many. As he hits the first. .59% free throw shooter as now 25-21 as Willoughby unable to hit the 3. Joseph with another opportunity for the Tigers. Here's Ford as he gets it out. Rosario gives it up out of the corner for 3. No good.
Good board.
Phillips
Go strong.
with the board.
Go strong. There you go.
So Julius Phillips picks up his first field goal of the afternoon, and it's 27-21. Voorhees on top.
We're going to get those second chance opportunities all night.
Under 2.5 minutes to go. Here's Barr, unable to hit. Here comes Rosario looking to push. Rosario to the basket. No good.
Get in there.
Rebound. Still no good.
Oh, got it back.
Willoughby gets it back. And Willoughby is fouled. So with 2:07 remaining, Willoughby will be shooting 2.
Now, CJ, do you have the pronunciation of the head coach for Fisher on his last name?
Yes. Now let me use my New York accent, okay?
Yes. I know you're close to Boston, so I knew you.
It is Anthony Leonelli.
Leonelli.
Yes.
Okay, Coach Leonelli.
Anthony Leonelli.
I guarantee they call him Coach Leo.
I'm pretty sure. Fadeaway shot, and it's good for Pencil. That's his first points, and he leads the team in points production with 16 points per game. 1:45 remaining. Boy, he's up 28-23. Here's Willoughby for 3. No good. Johnson with the rebound. The put back up. No good.
I'm telling you, we're going to have that all night with our height advantage. We just have to take advantage of it.
Back up Fisher. Willoughby. Good defense on ball. Here's Butler Gaffney. And
try to look pick and pop. Well, pick and roll.
Good defense there. As even in the chat room, they agree with the defense. Here's Rosario. Gives up to Phillips. Under a minute remaining. 28-23 and a foul. So Kyle Butler Gaffney picks up his first. And team's 10th. So Rosario will shoot 2. with 48 seconds to go.
I see a former Tigers on the line. Well, on the chat room there, Demetrius Relaford.
Oh yes, Relaford, D. Relaford, representing.
Yeah, Relaford has helped us out in a number of ways.
Oh yeah,
from DJing to sideline stats. He was an integral part of this program when he was a student here.
Not only that, he's DJ at the here at the radio station at WVCD as well.
Okay.
So he's done a marvelous job, and he always chime in, and of course a lot of our Tiger Nation fans as well.
And I guarantee if we were broadcasting games back then, he would have probably been up here with you.
Right. As we reach to the 30-second mark, 30-23 is our score. Voorhees on top. Hector Rosario hits the deuce. So Rosario with 8 points, and it's a 9-point lead for Voorhees with 25 seconds to go, 32-23. So Voorhees looking pretty good here in their waning minutes of the first half.
Yeah, we survived that push from Fisher. Got up by much, but we were by as much as 10 or 11, and Fisher made that push and cut it to 4. I think that was the closest they got. Now we're able to extend that lead back again. Right. So hopefully we can keep it there. Definitely don't want to give them anything going into the half, any confidence, any boost.
Right. But right now, when you see it, it seems like Voorhees, they are playing their game right now. Defensively speaking, causing some turnovers. And of course, yes, they do have the size advantage, but it's one thing to have the size advantage, but it's another thing to execute it like you had the size advantage.
Yeah, you got to finish those putbacks. We've got a ton of those here in this first half. I'm going to go down and check the stats.
Okay. 25 seconds remaining. Shot clock is turned off. Fisher could hold for the final shot.
I wouldn't be surprised they're looking for a 3-ball.
14 seconds to go. Butler Gaffney with 3 seconds.
Here we go. Sorry,
Butler Gaffney for 3. Ooh. No good.
Almost the bank was closed that time.
Yeah, the bank was closed that time. So at the end of one half of play, Voorhees looking good going into the locker room, up 32-23. So, Coach, want to get your thoughts about this first half overall?
Well, I thought we did a good job of handling that push and the comeback from Fisher. Didn't allow them to tie it or take the lead. We were able to maintain and was able to build the lead back up. Hopefully, guys, we regroup, get things going in the second half. But I know Fisher's going to make some adjustments. And so are we. Coach Huff and his staff are good at making halftime adjustments. We'll see how it goes.
All right, so we're at halftime right now. Our score, Tigers are up over the Falcons by the score of 32-23. We're going to take this break, and we'll come back for more halftime festivities, and we'll get you straight for the second half. You are watching Tiger basketball on our Voorhees University Athletics YouTube page and our Voorhees University Facebook Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Leonard E. Dawson Center on the campus of Voorhees University. I'm Clarence Jones. We'll be joined by the women's head coach for Voorhees University, Edward Glover, in just a little bit as we get ready to start the second half. In the first half, it was Tigers leading a 32-23. The Tigers are very good so far on the boards, but not only that, Hector Rosario having a good first half with 8 points on the afternoon. But the biggest thing for the Tigers has been their calling card this season. The reason why they have a 7-8 record and the reason why they have 7 victories on the year, holding their opponent down defensively speaking, and that is exactly what is happening right now. Fisher only able to put up 23 points. This is a Fisher team who is very good offensively speaking, who could put up over 80 points per game during the regular season. But right now, Fisher having all types of trouble trying to get second chance baskets because of the length and size of the Tigers right now. And the Tigers need to take advantage of this length and size if they want to hold on and get their victory and get their third conference victory. Of course, as again I've mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is a very important week for the Tigers as far as conference speaking, and they'll have 3 tough opponents starting with this one this afternoon, and of course 2 more as they go down to Florida for the tournament pod. And this will make up a lot of ground in conference play if they can get the victory here this afternoon. Meanwhile, for Fisher, they need to get something going. We'll have the second half for you coming up right after this. All right, as we get ready to start the second half, Fisher will have possession. And here we go. Here's Thomas, who is the leading scorer for Fisher in the first half as he hit 2 big 3-pointers. Number 30, Pencil, has been kind of quiet here this afternoon with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. The leading scorer for Fisher, turnaround jump shot, no good. And he's still stuck on 2. Here's the outlet pass. As they'll have the foul on Keandre Pencil. And Pencil is in foul trouble himself. If I heard Mr. J right, he said he has 4 personal fouls. Excuse me. As Hector hits the first. 9 points for Hector Rosario. As Pencil, the leading scorer, will have to come out. And coming in for Fisher will be Kyle Butler-Gaffney. As the second goes out of bounds, and it will be Fisher basketball. Played about 37 seconds into the second half. Is 33-23 is our score. Tigers on top of Fisher. Double team, and does it work? And it goes to Fisher. As the coach rejoins me here for the second half with 19:19 to go. Did you get an explanation about that shot clock situation?
No, didn't get a chance to talk to the officials. I was down there with the stat team.
Okay.
Trying to get some stats. And Fisher's coach made an adjustment. With start number 30 in the lineup.
Yeah.
For the second half, because number 11, the young man, is in foul trouble.
Yeah, Bandy. He has 4 personal fouls. as we have a whistle. Vandy is the second leading scorer, and now the top leading scorer, Pencil, has 4 fouls as well. So now your top 2 leading scorers are in foul trouble here this afternoon.
And we're just 1 minute into the second half.
Right. And at the line shooting is Gillespie, Dakota Gillespie, the sophomore, 6'4", out of El Paso, Texas. One thing about Fisher has a lot of players from all parts of America.
Well, speaking with the coach in pregame, he said being in the Continental Athletic Conference with the schedule allows him to recruit outside of the area. And as he told me, he said Boston is not a hard sell. They get students to come to Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. And plus, Boston, a big city, and
you
know, you have a lot of things to do up there. And the traveling violation is called against Ball. But yeah, speaking about Boston, I mean, you have a lot of things to do up there, and it's one thing about a college when you're selling. You're also selling your location as well.
Yes, you are. And with Boston, you know, a lot of things you can do in transit. You wouldn't personally need your own vehicle. It probably would be a disadvantage to have your own vehicle.
Yeah.
And one thing being here, you
have to have. There's not a lot of Ubers around here.
And it makes over in the living and learning area. Mm-hmm. It seems like, that's a lot of cars over there.
Right.
But most of the students have them.
All right, so Voorhees will have the basketball up 33-25. Here's Phillips being guarded by Thomas. Phillips, pull-up shot, no good. Thomas on with the rebound. 33-25 is our score. Once again, thank you, everybody that's tuning in and commenting in our chat room, both at our Voorhees University Athletics YouTube page and also our Facebook Live page. Let us know where you're watching the game from. And stepping out of bounds and a turnover goes Butler Gaffney. So we just played a little over 2 minutes into this second half here. 33-25 is our score. Voorhees up. This is Voorhees' third conference game of the regular season. The first 2 conference games came against Morris. As here's Ford from the baseline, no good. Rims in and out. And the ball is finally controlled here by Ball. Ball brings it back up court and scores. So Giovanni Ball, that's his only first field goal, but he has 3 points on the afternoon. It's 33-27. Voorhees on top. Here's Willoughby. Tough shot. So Tyler Willoughby now with 4 points on the afternoon. Thomas cannot connect on the 3-pointer. He hit 2 3-pointers back in the first half. It's 35-27.
What he does also, he pulls our big person out of the paint with that shot.
Oh, nice pass.
Oh, we gotta have that. Gotta have that,
Joseph gets blocked twice. Looked like the first time when Joseph handled it, it was a nice pass from Rosario, but looked like he had a little hard time handling it at first.
Just have to gather himself and finish those. Can't think about shot being blocked here.
Rosario, to the basket. Block. As we have a foul, actually. So the foul is on Giovanni Ball. That's Ball's second, team second. Rosario back at the line, who has done a nice job from the line so far. Rosario now in the double figures. 2 for 2 at the line.
That puts us back up by 10. We're extending that full course press. There we go.
There we go. Nice play there in the backcourt. Willoughby gets it, puts it in.
There you go.
Willoughby, his 6th point of the afternoon is 39-27. Voorhees' largest lead of the afternoon. Back the other way, too hard off the glass.
That press reminds me of some of my old Tiger teams. When we were long and athletic and could put that pressure up to the top there. We used to call that white.
And y'all could cause turnovers like nobody's business.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we were, at one time class,
As Rosario is fouled.
I'm going back here. That 2011 team was the top team in the country, all in the IA defense. And we did a lot of trapping and pressing. We truly played 94 feet of basketball, 40 minutes.
Well, it's funny that, as you mentioned in the first half, how basketball, especially college basketball, has changed. But think about it. I would say 30 years ago, back in the 90s, it was really fashionable to have a great defensive team like
yes, it was,
Nolan Richardson with Arkansas and UNLV and their teams, but they also had great defense as well.
Yes. And your defense made your offense. Like, look at John Thompson, the good Georgetown team that play that defense, that pressure in your face defense, and it made those teams got the identity of being tough. Those teams you mentioned, UNLV, Georgetown, and Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, if you wanted to play for Bob Knight, you better know how to play defense.
Yes, and you better be able to take a lot of criticism with Knight as well.
Right. And that ball,
but that was
out of bounds.
The style of his era.
Yeah.
And as things changed, Knight didn't change, and it was reflective of how things ended up.
Yeah.
In his, at the end of his tenure.
Oh, nice play to the basket as Rosario with the quick step there, and the foul is called.
But Knight is a good teacher. I've been to several of his clinics. Mm-hmm. He's a very good X&O guy. He knows basketball. Maybe can't agree with some of the other tactics.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that court basketball, he knows that well.
Finney picks up the foul. That's his first as Rosario at the line shooting.
And then our coach Huff is a great tactician over there. He's assisted by Coach James Williams and Coach Zai Bradford. I don't see Bradford with us today. Maybe out on the road recruiting.
As Rosario hits 1 out of 2.
But they make a good coaching staff. Good team, works well together.
Yeah. Oh, and a steal, another steal.
And they have a little mix of the old and the new.
Rosario puts it in.
We're turning it up now. That pressure defense. When you can press, you can win big and you can come back.
44-27 is our score. Voorhees showing off their defensive prowl there, leading to some offense as that shot is good. A much-needed shot for Fisher. That's pencil. And that shot no good. 44-29 is our score. Under 15 minutes remaining here in the second half. Keandre trying to get going here. And it's still from behind by Ford. Here comes Ford. Ford takes it all the way.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what pressure can do for you.
That's got to be about the fourth steal in this half right here for Voorhees. And we have an offensive foul. Bandy, and that's his fifth, and he's out.
Wow.
That's Bandy's fifth. And Coach Leonelli wants an explanation.
He really wants an explanation.
So Bandy is his fifth. So he's out for the rest of the game.
I've seen a kid, young man get fouled out that early. 14:34 left.
With 14:34 left. That's surprising because, again, Bandy is the second leading scorer on the squads with 15 points per game. So you're going to miss some of that point production, especially now when you still have a lot of time to go and you got a lot of ground to make up for Fisher.
Yeah, that's big.
Voorhees up 46-29 here, under 14 and a half to go. Looking pretty good about themselves. Willoughby. Oh, that would have been a crushing trade. But here's Ford with the good hands and the foul.
We're getting the hustle plays.
You get a feeling that Voorhees have a sense that they really need these conference victories coming up, and they playing like they need it.
Yes. So this victory will be signature and will really solidify their quest of getting a bid to our conference tournament.
Remember, as Ford hits the first with a little pump fist at the end. Remember what the top 8 teams only makes it to the conference tournament. Second shot is no good. 47-29 is our score. Voorhees with their biggest lead of the afternoon so far. It's Keandre. He hits the 3. So Keandre Pencil, his first 3-pointer. He has 7 points on the afternoon, still well below his average. Willoughby challenging. Tyler Willoughby coming alive here in his second half. A little backcourt press, that almost worked. Here's Keandre. Yes. Pencil, basket's good. So they'll call the foul on Amari Joseph. That's his second. And he'll sit out. As Keandre hits the and one. 49-35 is our score. Voorhees up by 14, and we'll have a whistle. As a coach right now, Leonelli, talking to the referees right now. Leonelli almost asking for it.
Yeah. He didn't go to the table with a warning.
Nope. But he is drawing at him. There's Voorhees. Oh, nice pump fake. Gives it up. Malachi.
Oh! Good follow.
Follow up. No good.
Scramble on the floor here.
Bodies to the floor. Jump ball. And Fisher on the alternating possession will have it. Our statistician Kai thinks it was a foul somewhere. She's shaking her head like she can't believe this.
The table is saying Fisher.
The table saying Fisher. Now Huff is asking, it should be.
Was it another jump ball?
Yes. There was a jump ball earlier. Pencil, that's a traveling violation. Yeah, he slipped just before he shot the ball. So with 13 minutes and 14 seconds to go, looks like we got a technical foul. And ejected from the game. Cross Bandy. So Bandy has been ejected from the game. But he had 5 fouls. So he was on the bench already. Rosario hits the first. So let me get this clear. So you have 5 fouls. You're on the bench. You can still pick up a technical foul on the bench and get ejected, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bandy will hit the showers early. It's 51-35 is our score. With 13-13 remaining here in the second half. Here's Willoughby. Bounce pass inside. Here's Phillips in the lane. Gives it up. Willoughby. Pull up from just inside the free throw line is no good. 51-35 is our score for those of you just joining us here. Voorhees. Nice day here this afternoon on a cold, rainy day here in Denmark. And right now, Fisher
got our lanes. There we go, finish.
4!
Yeah. That's how you get out there on that break.
Christian Ford brings the crowd alive, and it's an 18-point lead. The whistle. The basket's good. Ford picks up the foul. That's his second. And at the line is Keandre Pencil. With 12 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Now, even though Voorhees with a 53-37 lead, still a lot of time left here for Fisher to come back.
And Fisher's hanging around that 14-15 mark.
Mhm.
He missed that, which would have cut it to 15, but we gotta respond right here. We gotta answer. Take the ball.
They go inside.
What you
Here's
want.
Johnson
That's what you
backing
want.
it down low, and no
finish
foul
those.
call. Back come the other way.
Gotta look out
Out of the corner for three. No good. Ford and Johnson finally controlled by
Got numbers.
Rosario.
Got numbers.
Up it goes. Nice pass. Phillips with the deuce. Phillips with the second
See if we can
basket.
get a turnover.
It's 55-37. Voorhees in the lead. Under 12 minutes to go. Along the baseline. Kicks it out. Out of the corner. Once again, Fisher cold behind the line.
Opportunity here to push it. Opportunity here to push it.
Phillips backs out now. 11 and a half minutes to go. Five seconds left on the shot clock.
Finish that. Good
Malachi
job.
Johnson puts it in.
Now we have a 20-point lead.
As we're coming up on the 11-minute mark, Voorhees' largest lead of the afternoon, and a steal. Voorhees looking real good right now as the ball goes out of bounds. So Coach Huff and the rest of the team clapping it up. Good play so far for the Tigers. And Pamela Harris checking in. Tyler Willoughby's auntie, Dana, is in the house. She's watching. Thank you so very much for watching and cheering on Tyler, having a nice game once again this afternoon. 57-37 if you're just joining us here. Now it's 57-40 as a three by Gillespie. So Dakota Gillespie, that's his first three-pointer, and that breaks a cold streak of shooting from behind the three-point line as we have a timeout on the court. 10 minutes and 36 seconds to go. 57-40 is our score. Tigers leading the Falcons from Fisher College in this very important conference battle. Fisher right now 3-4 in conference play, but more importantly for Voorhees, they are still undefeated.
Yes.
And with this victory today, they're still undefeated going into that big weekend, this upcoming weekend against Florida National and Florida College.
Yeah, being this the third conference match. We got two coming up. So like it was 5. March one more time. It'll be 6. And when they take that trip to Washington Village, they should pick up 2 more conference games. So they'll have a total of 8 conference games. Oh, I forgot about the Virgin Islands. 9
Right,
actually.
right. Okay, 9, yes, yeah.
But they come here.
Right.
We actually have one more here. Yeah, one more here. Everything else is on the road.
And Voorhees can become road warriors here in the late stages of the regular season. Again, they definitely have the team to pull off some road victories. Here's Ford. Thank you for everybody tuning in this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon. Here's Ford. Can't hit, gets it on rebound. Fleecian along the baseline. Can't hit that acrobatic shot. Back on Fisher as we're coming up on the 10-minute mark. Out of the corner for three, no good. Here is Ford. 3-pointer on the way is no good. Malachi with the rebound and put back. So Johnson with his second field goal. It's a 59-40 lead for Voorhees. As we at the 9.5-minute mark. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and a challenge to the basket, and it goes for Kyle Butler Gaffney. Gaffney now 5 points on the afternoon, and it's 59-42. Tigers on top of the Falcons. As we come up on the 9-minute mark, here's Ford attacking the basket. So Ford is having a rock-solid afternoon in the double figures now for the young man. 3-pointer back the other way is good for Retta. That is his first 3-pointer. And he has 6 points on the afternoon, and it's 61-45. Shout out to Jeremiah West watching us from Tennessee. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And everybody else, where you tuning us from? I know we got Philly in the house, as that shot is no good for Wyndham. Bryce Wilson checks back in for the Voorhees Tigers.
He's checking back in with 4 fouls.
If you're watching us on our YouTube page, please share, like, and subscribe if you like what you're seeing here and you want more Tiger action. And that Malachi, good, jumping into the passing lane. Here is Wyndham the other way.
That was a good move by Wyndham. Reaching.
Defense into instant offense, and it's 63-45. Voorhees back on top by 18. 3-pointer on the way, and the kind roll. Dakota Gillespie, his second 3-pointer of the afternoon. And
that NBA distance?
Just about. Just about. 63-48 is our score. Voorhees still on top. Dale is watching us in from Summerville, South Carolina. Thank you. Turnaround shot is good. Yeah, for Sellers. Isaiah Sellers.
Iron was kind on that.
Yes, it was. Timeout. Taken by Voorhees. So 65-48 is our score. Voorhees on top. Still looking pretty good here, Coach, with 7 minutes and 19 seconds to go.
Yeah, we just got to finish strong. Take some of the air out of the ball. Get what you want. No 4 shots. You should be able to just take this one home.
Yep.
Fisher may have one more run. I'm not sure what we're going to see.
But without your 2 top leading scorers there, it's going to be kind of difficult.
It's going to be tough. And the fact that you're playing these back-to-backs, how much legs do they have left?
Yeah.
So they don't have a deep bench at all.
Yeah. Now, we're just talking about you, the women's team coming up. You also have to go down to Florida for the conference tournament little bubble in season. I know these last 2 losses has been kind of emotional losses here for the Lady Tigers. How the Lady Tigers are taking it right now?
Well, they need to put it behind them because this is 2 big important matchups starting on Thursday and again on Saturday in the conference. We get those and we'll be all right, but we need to have those 1 game at a time.
Right.
And that's all we're going to be thinking about is traveling and trying to pick up these 2 wins.
As a turnover by Fisher caused by the Voorhees defense.
And those 2 games were against 2 teams that are right there in the mix. So it would show well that we could take care of those.
Wyndham, straightaway 3-pointer on the way, no good. Malachi with the rebound and putback is in. That is the 3rd rebound and putback.
The size advantage is really helping right now.
Yes, it is. Malachi, all 6 points off of offensive rebounds and putbacks. 67-48 is our score with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Shout out to Amy Bryson watching us from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Thank you so very much for tuning in. 6:48 to go. Clarence Jones along with the women's head coach, Edward Glover here. We're calling the game this afternoon between Voorhees and Fisher in a CAC matchup. Yep, and that's a long range, and that goes down. Therefore,
now Fisher's showing a little pressure. Hadn't seen that all game.
Rita with the three-pointer. That's his second.
And I'm pretty sure we see Fisher again in D.C. at Washington and Venice.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Fisher. So with 6:23 remaining, Fisher trying to turn it up on the defense, but at the other end, they need to make some baskets in order to get back into the ball game.
They're trying to do it from the three.
Yep. As Pencil, who just checked back in the ball game, but mind you, he has 4 fouls. So coach putting him in there. Here's Wilson all the way. You know, I really like Bryce Wilson's game. He has a lengthy type game.
He's long and athletic. Get to the cup.
Under 6 minutes to go, 69-51. Too hard off the glass. Willoughby wide open for 3. No good.
Get it back to him. Get it back to him.
Sellers puts it in from close range. Apparently, a lot of people in the chat room likes the defense that's being played here by the Tigers as well.
When you can play defense, you can win some games. You can win championships.
There's a shot put up, no good. Sellers on with the rebound.
Oh, got numbers, got numbers.
Yes, indeed.
Got numbers. Let's
Spotting
see.
Up for
this
3.
Could be the nail.
Wyndham got it. Wyndham puts up the 3.
Largest lead of the night, of the day. 23.
Wyndham loves that corner shot, and it's 74-51, the largest lead of the afternoon for the Tigers. Willoughby, oh, nice play, and that's a block there, but it's picked up by Malachi. Too hard off the glass. Back the other way. Oh, high off the glass, no good. As the ball being knocked around, as we have a foul underneath the basket. Four minutes and 31 seconds to go. We have a foul against Voorhees. So,
see, Coach Hope is going deep into the bench here.
Going deep into the bench with 4.5 minutes to go, 74-51. You know, a lot of players contributed this afternoon as far as the point-wise. Christian Ford and Hector Rosario having great games. Willoughby having another awesome game. And, of course, Wyndham, Mr. Excitement off the bench. He's had a nice game as well. But I think the key to today's matchup, and it's been all season, has been the Tigers' defense.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, defense, you mentioned this, can turn seasons around, too.
Oh, yes, it can.
It definitely can turn seasons around. And a great hand here is Malachi Johnson, and Tyler Willoughby will check out. Malachi very active on the boards, and Willoughby playing like he should be all conference. A quiet afternoon for the leading scorer for Fisher. All the way for Sellers.
Good finish.
Isaiah Sellers definitely putting on the show here this afternoon. Out of the corner for 3. Here's Thomas. Hits the 3. That's Thomas's third three-pointer, but that's his first made one in a while. Here's Wyndham. Up top. No. Trying to look for Fleecian on the alley-oop. Under 4 minutes to go, 76-56. Voorhees look like they're on their way for another victory. As we'll have a foul call. The clock will stop with 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go.
Even though down by 20, Fisher is still playing hard.
Oh yeah, they definitely play hard.
But I'm pretty sure they are probably going to crack the top 8 as well. With another match with Voorhees later on in February, and who knows, could be a matchup in the tournament as well.
But what does this potential victory for the Tigers do for their confidence? Because in conference play, that's where everything really counts as far as who gets into the playoffs. But what does this say that outside of Morris, they can defeat other teams in the conference as well?
Definitely. And it lets the committee know that as well. But got to take it on the road now.
Yep. So they'll take the act on the road down there to Florida. That's coming up later on this week. Florida National and Florida College will be the two teams that Voorhees will be facing off.
And Florida College is, if I'm not mistaken, top seed. They're on the men's side right now.
Right. Both Florida schools is like in the top 4, if I'm not mistaken.
So this is going to be a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Tough road trip.
76-58. As we have a foul call, look like this will go against Wilson. Once again, please like and subscribe to our YouTube page at Voorhees University Athletics. And also, you can follow us on our Facebook page at Voorhees University. So for those in Voorhees Nation that's who are watching us, make sure you please like, subscribe, and also share our content as well. And let other people know that you can watch Tiger basketball, both men's and women's, on our YouTube channel and Facebook. Wyndham takes it in all the way, no good. Under 3 minutes remaining, 76-59. Oh, nice up and under move there by Pencil. Pencil now with 15 points, as he's just a point below his average, but a quiet 15 points this afternoon. 2:35 remaining here in the ball game, 76-61. Here's Wyndham. Wyndham unable to hit that as he challenged the big man Thomas. So Charles Thomas picks up his third personal. Dana Woods says she's a proud auntie for Tyler Willoughby. Willoughby has played another excellent game. Also, Hector Rosario has played a nice game as well. All in all, about 10 Tigers in the scoring book here this afternoon. .223 remaining here as Spells picks up the foul. So Spells in there, number 30. Shooting the 1-and-1 is Keandre Pencil. So the leading scorer does have his 16 points, but again, very quiet afternoon for the leading scorer for Fisher.
Well, something else that's quiet. It's a 13-point game.
Right. Quietly as kept. Fisher was down by 20, and it is only a 13-point game. So, and you still have plenty of time left with 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go. How the heck did that happen?
We were shooting that ball. We were taking a lot of shots.
So
we're still in control. We just got to take the eye out of the ball. Wind that shot clock down.
Kaya says that the Tigers are taking some ill-advised shots.
You're right. Got to take the eye out of the ball.
Ill-advised shots. All right, for those of you just tuning in, it's 76-63. Our score with 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go.
And as a point guard, Kaya should know that.
Right. She should know that. She's over there smiling because she knows that.
CJ, did you know that Kaya signed the play for the Lady Tigers.
Oh, she did she?
Yes. She decided to take the year off.
Just to be with me up here in the broadcast booth. Ain't that nice?
And she said she wants to learn the game, the college game, so she can make a comeback.
Bells with the block. 2 minutes remaining. Still a 13-point lead at 76-63. Here's Pencil. Spin move in the lane. Shot is good. It's now,
game.
yep, 76-65 is our score. A minute 40 remaining here in the ball game. Wilson kicks it in, out to Fleecian for three. That's a big three.
That was a big shot. And you got to have a lot of guts to take that.
Right.
Because you could have taken a little bit more time on the shot clock, but that's one of those shots. I know Coach Elko said he better make it.
And he did.
Because I'm pretty sure if he didn't, the next buzzer, he would have been coming out of this one.
79-65.
Fred,
and Fred Spells puts
those
it
are the
in.
kind of shots you take when you're winning. Going toward the basket, not away.
That is the 11th Tiger to score in this ball game. Out of the corner for three. It's good. Yeah, Fisher's not going away. Not easily. It's 55.8 seconds to go. It's 81-68. But how about Voorhees scoring over 80 points here? And I've always kidded with Huff. I said, anytime that Voorhees hold the opponent underneath 70 points, they usually come out victorious. Right now, it's 68. Still got 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, 70 is a high number. So you got to be scoring a whole lot more than 70. Because that's a high number to give up 70 on defense.
Yeah.
But when you can score, it makes it much better.
Well, right now, Voorhees, really good percentage from the field as a team. Lanisha Cook says Fleecian had it all the way. You doubted him. He had it all the way. 81-68 is our score. 48.2 seconds to go. As we're coming up on 40 seconds to go, shot no good. Ball out of bounds off of Fred's legs.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, wait. What they saying now? Okay, we'll stay with Fisher's basketball.
A 3-point here could cut it to 10.
Yeah, and you still
not enough time, though. Not enough time. This is,
especially if you're doing all this dribbling, there's not too much time left.
got a foul, and that's going to put him to the line for 2.
Well, that's one thing you don't want for the Tigers is the Fisher to get points with the clock stopped.
But the good thing, there's not enough time left for this. There's no Reggie Millers over there.
No. Thank goodness. 30.8 seconds to go.
Or being from Boston, then Larry Birds.
Or, I was getting ready to say, more modern, the truth, Paul Pierce.
Oh, yeah. Paul Pierce has won some games this way. No need to take a basket here. No need.
They will go for it and make it for Hector Rosario. Rosario, a big game this afternoon as the shot clock turned off. Voorhees, they could just hold it. They do not have to put up another shot. And that will do it. Voorhees victorious here this afternoon. The final score, Voorhees 83, Fisher College 69. Voorhees now improves to their record of 8-8 overall and 3-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, Fisher drops to an overall record of 9-12 and 3-5 in the conference. So, as the team exchange handshakes at the middle of the court, Coach, this Voorhees team, Hey, they held the opponent under 70 once again with their 8th victory. But look at this team, coach. Boys look like they're coming around, and they're coming around at the right time during conference play.
Yes, they are. They are. And definitely we about to hit the road here for this conference pod.
So if you look at it, Hector Rosario with a great day this afternoon. Hector, unofficially, I have him down in my scorebooks at scoring 17 points, but we'll get the official word. He is the leading scorer this afternoon. Willoughby with 8 points. Christian Ford did a nice job coming off the bench this afternoon with 12 points on the afternoon. Terrell Wyndham off the bench as well with 9 points. And Isaiah Sellers with 8 points off the bench. So the bench play, especially the scoring part, very important here to the overall win for Voorhees. So congratulations once again to the Voorhees Tigers.
And that pulls us back up to 500 overall.
Yep.
2-0 in the conference.
3-0 now.
Yeah, 3-0. 3-0. 3-0 out. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 in the conference. With the 2 wins versus Mars.
Yep. Yep.
But that drops Fisher to 9-12,
9 and 12, and 3 and 5.
Both of these teams will be there.
All right.
They'll be there.
Right. They will be there, and of course, a very good play action here by Voorhees. But defensively speaking, once again, causing turnovers, and those turnovers into instant points.
Yes, definitely that. Well,
all right. Yeah, she's bringing Kaya. Yes, your future point guard is bringing up the stats. So if we look at it, so now overall Rosario, I said 17. He actually had 21 points. Ford had 12 points. Sellers with 8 points, and also Willoughby with 9 points on the afternoon, and Wyndham with 11 points. So that's about good 11 Tigers at least scoring 2 or more points.
Yeah, Ballard scored.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get everybody in. I thought he would have get that tonight.
Didn't get everybody, but
maybe that push at the end by Fisher may have changed that with Coach Huff's decision to get his other players into the game.
But definitely, I would say still an all-around good game.
Oh yes,
here this afternoon for the Voorhees Tigers.
Good momentum, take it on the road. But they got quite a few road conference games as well
right.
on the next few.
Yes, I mean, like they go to Florida for 2 more important games as well. The leader scorer for Fisher was Keandre Pencil with 23 points. So he did score over his 16-point average, but still, those 23 points, some of them points came at I would say garbage time. But still, they did make a game of it late. It was down by 11 points. That was as close as they got in the second half until Voorhees just took over.
And it looks like the next 6 of 8 games, 6 of those conference games.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, so for the men's, like I said, a lot of conference games to make up for in this last run.
All on the road except the last one against the University of the Virgin Islands, which would be for them to close out the conference season.
Right. As a matter of fact, this is the last game for the Tigers' home game. The next home game will not be until the week before Super Bowl weekend. That'll be February the 4th.
Yeah, that's it. It'll be a home doubleheader
against Payne College. So that will be, both the ladies and the men's will take the court then. And that'll be Youth Day. Just to remind folks, that'll be Youth Day. So bring out the youths. And I think there's a special discount to get in for children, I believe, under 10.
Yes, and the following day, it'll be bring a young lady to a basketball game.
Right.
celebrating girls playing sports on February the 5th.
5th, right. So hopefully you could y'all will join us. That matter of fact, I was going to say that'll be our next broadcast. Actually, our next broadcast will be on January the 30th with the ladies in action. That'll be a single game.
We'll be in NEIA play.
Right.
Against a tough Middle Georgia team out of the Southern States Conference.
Yeah. So you'll join us then for that action. But for now, we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, we'll have more of the post game wrap up. And also we'll have an interview with Coach Cabral Huff to talk about this big conference victory over Fisher. Final score once again, Voorhees 83, Fisher 69. We will take this break and we'll come back for more Tiger Basketball on our YouTube page and Facebook Live. Stay with us. Welcome back to the post-game show. We are live here at the Leonard E. Dawson Center. I'm Clarence Jones, being joined by our head coach for the men's basketball team, Coach Cabral Huff, as coming away with a victory today, a big victory against Fisher College, a conference victory now. Let's talk about the game in totality. I want to know, what are your thoughts about today's game?
I thought for about 28 of the 40 minutes, we really did what we were supposed to do. We were more disciplined. We executed. Those 12 I didn't like. I'm a coach, no matter what the final score is.
Right.
But we always talk about defense, and I thought we really controlled the glass. We controlled the paint for much of the game, and I think that's what led us to victory. Because I don't think we shot the ball well. I don't know the numbers. I don't think we shot the ball well from outside or even from the free throw line, other than maybe Rosario. But I thought we did enough defensively in controlling the paint and holding another opponent under 70.
Right. And I said, again, the key is if Voorhees hold an opponent under 70 points, they usually come out with the victory. And again, they hold the opponents to 69. So just made it by 1 point. But let's talk about the defense, especially in the first half. It seemed like Fisher, once you started having those backcourt press, causing turnovers and getting instant points, it seemed like Fisher was kind of rattled by then. What made you go to that defense part?
It was a sluggish game. Not supposed to be today. It's
Right.
1:00. We didn't have the fans that we normally have, so we wanted to speed them up. We wanted to get them quick. We know they had been on the road, had played a little bit, so we want to use our length, athleticism, our speed to our advantage, and it worked for us. It got them to speed it up. They made a run in the first half because it's about 2 or 3. We made a run closing out the first half to extend it back to 9, and we came out in the third quarter and kind of really settled down and busted up to 20. Then we had a lapse right there, right at the end. But I think defensively speeding them up, it really helped us. Our ball screen defense, they had to go away from their ball screen. So I think defensively we did a good job.
And I think it just seemed like the Tigers was just getting quicker to the ball, and they was limiting the second chances for Fisher on the offensive side. Defensively speaking, for Voorhees, it wasn't hard. It was hard for Fisher to get into the lane to put up some shots there. So you got to feel good, at least by that they was disrupting a lot of what Fisher was trying to do.
That was our first key on the board, was controlling the paint area, which means no middle, guarding our yard, and controlling the glass. And I think we did those 3. They hit some threes late in the game, hands in their faces, deep threes. But I think we were a little bit better, making sure they didn't get to the paint.
Now, offensively speaking, 11 Tigers got into the scoring books this afternoon, but Hector Rosario led the way with 23 points. Hector, it seems like he's really turning it around from, I would say, an off season last year, but this season he's really turning it. What can you say about your guys, even with Jordan Blue not being there, but the offense is still being picked up by everybody else?
I mean, Hector's done a great job, like we said the other night, moving to the 1. And really making sure we do the right things offensively. A lot of people think he kind of had a down season after being honorable mention All-American his first year here. But his numbers were kind of similar. He just didn't make the impact. Right. So when we went into offseason last year, we talked about the impact and what he has to do. And I think this year he's come back, weight room included. I know you're not going to see the bulky frame on him, but weight room included, he said, I'm going to make that impact on defense, on offense, making the right plays, and he's done that so far this year for us.
I also mentioned the fact that the bench scoring is also there for the Tigers, and that's a big key moving down the stretch, that you can go deep into your bench and get scorers to come off of the bench. So explain about how key the bench play is.
Bench is really key for us, whether we're talking about Isaiah Sellers, or we're talking about Terrell Wyndham, Keyshawn Fleeton, Bryce Wilson, who I think did a great job today playing multiple positions for us, Malachi Johnson, that we didn't have Durante Foster today, which kind of limited our bench a little bit. But I think what Malachi Johnson and Amari Joseph give us, like we talked about at that post position, really helps. So our bench is really big for us. We wanted to make sure we had depth, because we know how the season is. We know how you have to play back-to-back sometimes. You never know what can happen. You never want to get caught with not having enough that can go to war for you.
Right. Now, this part of the season becomes crucial now, because now you're getting into the heart of conference play. Of course, a big win there this afternoon, but later on this week, a big road trip down there in Florida, where you take on Florida National and Florida College, 2 particularly good conference teams that's coming up here. But not only that, the next 6 out of 8 games is all conference play. So this is a real important stretch here for Voorhees.
It's a real important stretch. It started with this week. We knew how important the Morris game was. We knew how important this Fisher game was, and we know how important going on the road next week to play Florida National, and then to play, like I said, a nationally ranked team who won our conference last year at Florida College. But it's one practice, one game at a time. But we understand the importance of these conference games, which allow us to get where we want to go, which is conference tournament. Then you have to do what you have to do there.
Gotcha. I'm gonna get you out on this question, Coach. What do you feel that what will be the key momentum going through the rest of the season for Voorhees to be victorious and get a chance at the playoffs?
I think we have to execute just a little bit better. I think offensively, when we execute and we get the shot, you're not going to make every shot, but we get the shot that we want when we want it. I think that can take us to the next level. Defensively, I think we're right there. We just got to take another step over the hump. And then I think those are the 2 things that will really help us excel going down the stretch.
Well, I will say this. Now we're 8-8 overall, so that's a big accomplishment in itself, because we haven't had 8 wins around here in a few years. Right. Well, But I have to say, again, this is a deep bench, this is a deep team, and I say this is a special team.
Mm-hmm.
But defensively, I think they could be one of the big challengers coming up down the stretch, and also can do some challenges. If they get into the playoff, they can make some real big noise here.
I agree with you, and that's our goal. We had a goal coming into the season of where we wanted to be. We probably haven't got some games that we wanted to get early. Lost some coastals like we talked about, as some Division II opponents. Lost some, on the road. But the schedule was made to push us where we needed to be at this moment right now, and even further along conference tournament time.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining me here. Once again, congratulations on the victory this afternoon. And, of course, good luck as we have a big road games coming up right here. And hopefully fans that if we're able to tune in, please tune in and cheer on the Tigers, because they'll need your support from everywhere that you go. Any last messages you have for the fans?
Just continue. Come on back out when we're at home. Cheer us on while we're down in Florida. It's us and the women's team. We're both down there in this conference pod. So cheer us on. It's our opportunity to just continue to get better every day.
Well, Coach, thank you so very much for joining me. And then once again, congratulations on the victory this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, sir. That was Coach Cabral Huff, the victorious men's coach here this afternoon, as the Tigers with another victory. That is their second straight victory to close out the homestand. So now, as you heard it here, a big road test coming up as they head down to Florida to take on Florida National and Florida College. But our next broadcast will be on January the 30th, as the Lady Tigers will be back here in action. Our next doubleheader games will take place on February the 4th, as Payne College will come in to take on the Lady Tigers and the Tigers. Coverage will begin on a Saturday afternoon, starting at 1 with the women's game, then followed by the men's game at 3 o'clock. Well, thank you so very much for joining us. I have to give a shout out to all of our students, our hardworking students behind the camera and pushing the buttons to make sure that the cameras and the angles come out correctly. Also, a big shout out to Curtis Sumner, as well as the maestro behind the boards this afternoon. For everybody here from Voorhees University, I'm Clarence Jones. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you please like and subscribe our YouTube page, and also share our content as well. And you can also follow us on Facebook at Voorhees University. So for now, have a great rest of the weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you next time down the road. I'm Clarence Jones, and have a good evening. So long, everybody.
When you think about Voorhees University, think efficiency, effectiveness, and innovation. Know that we are even more mission-focused, student-centered, and data-driven. We are serving students better, creating more opportunities for service learning, and making the campus an ideal environment for teaching and learning and campus life. During the spring and summer months, we improved structures and landscaping totaling $3.5 million. We upgraded residence halls, repaired major systems on campus, replaced roofs, and conducted historic preservation work on the oldest building on campus, the Booker T. Washington Building. You can see pole signs that adorn the campus and take the Voorhees presence to downtown Denmark. Perhaps most importantly, students can take advantage of new majors in environmental science, hospitality and tourism management, and emergency management. We have 19 online degrees and a graduate degree in teaching and learning, with one concentration in education systems improvement and another in PK-12 education. Yes, we have something for everyone. We are planning facilities that will enhance student life and increase our reach into the community through the Becoming Beloved Community Initiative. Academic excellence and student success, talent acquisition, leverage and leadership, and accountability, stability, and sustainability. It is a great day to be at Voorhees University. We are happy that you are here to move with us to the next level of excellence.